What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades. And today we're going to talk about a product from a brand that I've never reviewed before, and that is Kubey knives. What we've got here is the Kubey KU158. I do not think that this model has a name. It just goes by the item number, which is KU158, the model number. And for price reference, guys, I pulled the price for this off of Amazon, and right now it is listed at $29.99. So we're definitely in a budget blade here, but it is what we've come to consider a high-end, very well-made budget blade, guys, full of features with good materials, especially considering a $30 price point. I want to start out by saying thank you to viewer, sub, and channel supporter Jeff O. That's Jeffrey Orthopedic, and no, orthopedic is not his last name. That's just sort of a private joke with he and I. And Jeff, man, thank you for sending this to me. I would have probably never got my hands on it, and I've really enjoyed checking this thing out. It's a little tank, guys. It's an enjoyable knife, and if you like this blade profile, I think that you're going to like this knife. It's got a lot of good going for it. So let's set this down. We're going to take a look at the packaging. It's pretty much just a plain old Kubey type box here that is glossy and printed. Does have your FKU158A, and I guess that's the full model number on that. Inside the box, the knife will be in a plastic baggie with desiccant, and you'll have a Kubey sort of info warranty card there. All right, now this knife is a full-size knife. You are looking at a 3.8 inch blade length, and that's about 9.5 centimeters. Your blade stock thickness, I got 156 thousandths of an inch, or 4 millimeters. Blade width at the widest is 1.10 inches, or 28 millimeters. Your handle length, 4.75 inches, or 12 centimeters. Handle thickness, a little chunkier than the norm. We're at 610 thousandths of an inch, or 15.5 millimeters. Your handle width at the widest point, 1.25 inches, or 32 millimeters. Your closed width, not very much more than that, and actually pretty slim for this size of knife, 1.5 inches, or 38 millimeters. Overall length, guys, 8 5/8 of an inch, or 22 centimeters. Stock pin diameter, I got that at 3 millimeters, or 118 thousandths of an inch. Behind the edge thickness, I hit that in 3 places and averaged it out. It went to about 22 thousandths, or 0.56 millimeters. Your handle to blade ratio, an excellent 0.78, and your weight, also excellent, guys. Very easy to carry for a knife this size. 4.83 ounces, or 137 grams. All right, guys, material wise, what you're looking at here is a D2 for your blade steel. Everybody knows I love D2. It's a very simple tool steel. It is nearly stainless, missing the stainless qualifier by 1.5% of chromium. It's a very high carbon content, high vanadium content, aggressive cutting tool steel. You typically see it rock weld in the 59 to 62 range, and what you get out of D2 is excellent edge retention. Your primary edge, once it goes, D2 is famous for holding a toothy working edge, and that's all those vanadium carbides in the matrix of the steel, guys. I would bet, I'd love to look at this at the truly microscopic level, guys, and just see those big vanadium carbides that are in that steel. Impact resistance on D2, not the best. It can be a little chippy on the edge, so I wouldn't chop with it or do any motions where you cut into something and twist, guys. I wouldn't want to put any twist on the edge. Especially if it's ground thinner than 20 thousandths of an inch. I don't think that would be an issue here at 22 thousandths. In fact, I think that we're about at the perfect spot behind the edge thickness for this blade style. So D2 up here. In your handle, we've got multi-layer G10. It is thick slabs of blue G10 with a layer of black over that, and then the black is machined through, revealing this pattern, which is very attractive. You've got satin finished Torx head hardware here, including a nice looking designer pivot, whose only downfall is it is not a capture pivot and does have Loctite on it from the factory. Let's see, G10 backspacer sandwiched in between weight relieved stainless steel liners for that liner lock. You do have a stamped steel pocket clip that, while not the most attractive pocket clip in the world, is very functional. Look at this pocket clip. What does that remind you of? It reminds me of the classic Emerson pocket clip, the classic Kershaw pocket clip, the classic Benchmade pocket clip, those fantastic stamped steel pocket clips. And this is another one right up there with those guys. All right, it's just a fantastic pocket clip, even though it's aesthetically it's not that pleasing. Let's see, that's about it for materials, guys. A very simple knife build, no issues there, especially at $29.99 from Amazon. That's sort of a no-brainer if you like this style of knife, guys. Fit and finish wise, let's go up here to this D2 blade. 3.8 inches, guys, in this sort of sheep's foot, reverse tanto, swedge type of blade profile. What that does is give you the continuous belly here on your cutting edge for great utilitarian use. This reverse tanto sort of clip gives you a slimmer, more piercy or type of tip. When it's piercy, guys, it's very well sharpened, pierces with little to no effort at all. You've got the Kubey markings here on the front, you've got a single D2 marking on the back, and then you've got this black finish, which is a black. It's not a black wash, it's a solid black. And then they've come back and machined the flats to give the contrast between the black and the machined satin finish there on the blade. Fit and finish is very well done. The only issue I have with this blade, guys, is the sharpening choil, and that is not a fit and finish issue, it's a design issue. The sharpening choil should come out probably 2 millimeters more, and it needs to get out a little bit further to get past the plunge grind, guys. As you can see right here, it is going to flare a little bit at the base of the grind there, and you will see that become more and more pronounced as you progress through sharpening with it. Other than that, the fit and finish is fabulous, guys. Fit and finish on the handle, G10 slabs over weight relieved stainless liners, G10 backspacer. Look very closely, guys. The fit and finish, this knife has never been disassembled. Like I say, it does have a free floating pivot, and it is Loctited. Jeff has never disassembled it, and I decided not to disassemble it myself because the setup is so good from the factory. But the fit and finish is very tight on this knife, guys. There's no machining issues on the scales. There's no fit and finish issues between the scales, liners, backspacer here. Everything is flush, everything's tight, guys, everything's finished well. So zero issues there. And there's sort of a look right there at the weight relieving that's on those liners, guys. Extensive weight relieving to get us to the 4.8 ounce weight limit there. Or not weight limit, but weight. So fit and finish, guys, I got zero issues. Hey, look at this. The black on the pocket clip matches the black on the blade. Yeah, I love that. It seems like such a small thing, but I get sort of tired of getting knives where the hardware and the clip and the blade, there's like 4 different finishes. That just is not a very well realized package as far as I'm concerned. Now, action wise, well, this is a ball bearing flipper. It is on single row steel bearings as far as I know. They do look to be phosphor bronzed caged bearings. So Flipping action, explosive. Detent, perfect. As far as smoothness, it's everything but guillotine, guys. It takes very little to get this to close. And let's see here on the centering. If the centering is off any at all, it is just the barest hair, guys. As far as your lockup on the action, it is solidly locked up with no play in any direction. There is the slightest barest perception of side-to-side play, but you've really, see here, I'm bending the blade and I don't feel it in the locked position, guys. You've got to really torque on it to feel it there. And with the centering so good and the action so good, and that play so minuscule that it seems non-existent at times. Jeff just decided, hey, we'll just leave it there. Let's just leave it there, you know. And I agree. I don't think there's any reason to break this thing loose. I think that Kubey did a good job on the action. In fact, I think the action is the main selling point of this knife. The detent is so good, guys, and it is so smooth and hydraulic feeling. It is just an explosive detent. You've got a nice big flipper tab here. You see the flipper tab is oriented forward of the center line of the pivot. That just makes it a more mechanically efficient design, guys. And it likes sort of a hybrid push back sort of activation. And it's very good, guys. Very good. Very smooth. It's just as strong in a true light switch type of flip too. So that's a great design. You've got a wide range of mechanical motion on that that can be used on that flipper tab to get a nice satisfying flipper action. That's great, guys. It'll work better in more people's hands, and if you grab it and your grip is sort of off a little bit one way or another and you go to open it, you know, and you're down towards a butt end here and you're forced to sort of light switch it, or you come up on it a little high and you got to push button it, you're well within range of great action on it, and that's very much appreciated. Let's go on to ergos and utility on this. Well, guys, there's a reason this blade profile has become so popular across so many brands of knives at any price point, from the cheapest knives to the most expensive customs. This continuous belly, sort of sheep's foot, modernized with a sort of a reverse tanto clip on it with a nice aggressive swedge to thin that up for piercing. It takes this type of blade profile in a much more modern direction than what you would see with your dad's or your granddad's sheep's foot, guys. You can pierce with it, you can slice with it. It's got a nice high flat grind, 22 thousandths behind the edge, guys. I've got zero issues with the utilitarian use of this blade. In fact, I think it's one of the most utilitarian blade profiles available on the market. And, you know, I guess that's why it's so popular. That's why it's so popular. It can look aggressive, but still be a work knife. And that is a great combination in knives. We all love that aggressive look, but it is a knife after all, and we've got to work with it. Great combination, great blade profile, great utilitarian use there, no issues. The handle, look at this, guys. You've got a nice scoop section here. That's where your thumb is going to go into, and a forward grip. You can come further up on the blade to a section of jimping here, which is, it's there. It's there, guys. I think it's the finish that makes it a little slick, this sort of Teflon-y type finish. But as far as the handle itself goes, You got a nice finger choil here, a nice scoop here. Drop down to the butt end of the knife here. The center of the inside of the handle is wide open. It's a very organic, very ergonomic, and very much very comfortable in the hand. Oh yeah, reverse grip. That's fabulous, guys. You got this flat on the butt here to butt cap with your thumb. The only thing that I will say about this handle ergonomically, guys, is, like I said in the specs, it is a little thicker than what you may be used to seeing or having. Most folders, the sweet spot tends to be about a ½ an inch of thickness, and this one's going 610 thousandths, so slightly more than 0.6 of an inch. It can feel, guys. I feel it, although it doesn't bother me. It can feel a little square. Now, look at this, guys. There is your profile. You notice it's not a lot of edge radius here, although it's radius plenty enough to be comfortable, guys. It's not sharp on the edges or anything, but because that handle is a little thicker, it does give it a little more of a square sort of profile, guys. I hope that came off on camera. That's Square Graphics. That's new special effects here at Bazon Blades. Graphics, square. There you go. And just be aware of that, guys. I don't think it's an issue. It's not a design issue. It's not a fit and finish issue. It's just a product of the design itself. And it feels more like a tool in the hand. It feels like you've got a fuller handle size and shape, much like if you picked up a hammer, guys. A hammer doesn't have a ½ inch thick grip on it. And why is that? Well, because it would be half as useful a tool if it did. It needs a grip that feels the hand for a good working grip, and I think that's what Kubey is going for here. So ergos and utility, guys, just great. As far as in the pocket, you can see the carry depth of this knife. It gives you about a ½ an inch to grip a hold of here to pull it out. And again, what a great stamped steel pocket clip. No, it's not pretty, but man, look at that. Single plane, plenty up under the tip. Nice clamping area here. Look at the clearance under the body, perfectly parallel to the body of the knife. You don't have an excessive clamping area here. It's just enough for those 2 screws, guys. Just very well done. In the hand, I can barely feel that there's a pocket clip there. I never ever say I can't feel a pocket clip at all. I can always feel the pocket clip. And you can always feel the pocket clip. Let's be honest, guys. You can always feel the pocket clip, but this one is totally non-intrusive, non-hot spot. I have not at all found myself saying, you know what, I don't like that. My thoughts are, yeah, that's pretty doggone good. So kudos to Kubey for that. Let's see. Well, okay. I usually like to say something. I don't specify that I'm doing it, but this time I will. There's a cosmetic, some design decision on this knife that I sort of disagree with. This is neither here nor there, guys. It's just personal preference. But we've got all this black coating. We've got a little bit, the flats that are machined off. So you've got a little bit of satin, and that is balanced out with your satin hardware here. I think that's a good balanced look. Where I sort of lose this is when I turn it up and I see these stainless liners, and they don't look bad. Okay, they do not look bad, guys. I'm not saying that at all. With all of this black, I just so badly want to see these liners in black. I want to see that blue, black, blue, black, blue layering to go with this layered look here and layered look here. I just think that would be so awesome. And like I say, this doesn't look bad at all, guys. It's just, I just find myself wanting to see those liners in black. And you know, once I do, I might think, okay, well, you know, the stainless, the polished, I like it better. You never know, guys. But envisioning this in my mind, I really want to see those liners in black. I mean, what else have I said negative about this, guys? The sharpening choil needs to come out another couple of millimeters to get past the plunge grind. There's nothing bad to say about it, really. There's nothing bad to say about it. Look at this faceting here on the access point of the liner lock. Perfect. Very comfortable, guys. You can fidget with this knife for hours. You're not going to get all fidgety fingered on it with damn blisters or soreness or anything like that. Let's see what else. Oh, I wanted to point something out, guys. If you look at this side of the knife here, you look at the handle, the liners look thinner than on the back, and that is because once you come off of this area where the mating surfaces need to be flat, once you come up off of that, there is a very wide faceting, a chamfering on the inside of those liners, and it just makes them look thinner from this direction, even though they're not. But look how wide that chamfer is, guys. This knife it's really comfortable in the hands. There's no hot spots or anything like that, and it doesn't feel bulky. You know, like I say, it's got a little bit of a square feel to it, but it's not bulky, it's not uncomfortable. It is just what it is, guys, and it is just very well made. Jeff, buddy, I appreciate you letting me take a look at this. Once we get this video up, I'll get it packaged back up and send it to you. And guys, you know what? I can recommend this knife at $29.99. If you like this style of knife, it's a no-brainer. Go over to Amazon. Like I say, I'll try to remember to put the link in the description section of this video. And yeah, I don't see any issues here. I kind of like this thing, guys. And flipping's great, blade's great, handle's great, fit and finish is great, action is great. What more could you want for that amount of money? Seriously, what more could you want? All right, guys. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you later. And guys, as we've recently started here on Baz on Blades, we're going to close out with just one more flip. And there you go.